Hey guys, Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. In today's video, we're going to be diving into the price charts of the Ethereum price chart, the Bitcoin price chart, the HBAR price chart, and the ALGO price chart. I want to show you some very interesting similarities. Remember, this is just my opinion, not financial advice. So across the board, it is widely believed and shared, even by Real Vision Finance, Mr. Raoul Pal, that Bitcoin's price chart back here, this whole 2017 run-up is exactly what Ethereum is in fact doing. So I wanted to show you some different overlays of fractals, of course, in using the Fibonacci. Now, if an asset has never reached this all-time high price or is in price discovery, how do I best gauge where the prices could maybe land? Well, my best guess is leveraging the Fibonacci, which is really in everything that exists today, whether that be a Fibonacci retracement or a trend-based fib. I know other people use different logarithmic growth models or an ascending channel. I think they all work. You just have to find what works best for you. So, turning the lights on, we have the Ethereum price chart. We'll go over ALGO and HBAR today. Okay, so we can see this first purple circle right here. This was the original Bitcoin bull run dating back to 2011. Then we had the first Bitcoin halving in 2012, and it really kicked things off, cutting the block rewards in half, adding scarcity to Bitcoin supply and driving this price up, topping out to 2013. So, from 2011 to 2013. Many people believe that this whole purple little circle fractal, this first run-up, is exactly what the Ethereum price chart did from its low in 2016 all the way up to its top in 2018. Now we can see when the bear market did in fact return for Bitcoin from 2013, coming down to the low to the next Bitcoin halving in 2016, kicking off the next bullish cycle. What did we have for Ethereum? Well, we did in fact enter the bear market, and then finally, during the most recent Bitcoin halving in May of 2020, kicking off the next bullish cycle. So just wanted to show you those matches. Now we're going to look at these Fibonacci extensions and see how we measure up here. And then we're going to look at the HBAR and ALGO price chart. And also, just to address any YouTube comments I get in this video saying, Kevin, you're wrong. The altcoin market is not going to be bullish in the months ahead. We are entering the bear market. There is no hope. We're not creating another all-time high price for many alts. That's completely fine. You can believe what you wish. I'm going off the assumption that we are still following the data that we've had for several years and have already completed more than 2 bullish cycles. So completely up to you. I know the long growth curve shows some very promising things. I think the ascending channels are still intact that I even shared in the past for HBAR, ALGO, XLM, and even XRP. As shocking as that may seem, I think everything is still intact. And for anybody curious, yes, I bought ALGO at under 20 cents. I was buying QNT, which is well over $100 today, at $3 to $5. I was in HBAR at really around a penny, but I was buying it at launch when it was well over 10 cents as well. Oops. And a variety of other alts. I was in ADA at under 5 cents as well. Like, not my original entry price, but you're damn right that I definitely tried to DCA during that March 2020 crash. Didn't have as much cash as I wanted to at the time though, bummer. The bummer about the March 2020 crash was that I was not as liquid as I wanted to be to take advantage of that situation, but I do remember getting some more Ethereum at $98, unlike Binance US. But alright, just wanted to show you this, and the point being is that I'm simply following data, and if we know that Ethereum is following the 2017 price history, well, we're actually seeing that other altcoins are following what Bitcoin did here, or what Ethereum did in 2017. So Ethereum is following what Bitcoin did in 2017, and there are other altcoins, cough cough, HBAR, ALGO, and other assets like Casper that may be even lower that are following what the Ethereum price chart did during this 2017 run-up. Now, are the gains going to be the same? I'm not personally sure. I'm using fibs to best gauge it, but I do think that the overall look of the fractal and the growth is going to be similar. And whether or not ETH or Bitcoin even creates another all-time high price and runs up, I'm not really interested in a 2x or 3x return. I'm much more interested in alts that I know well, that have some huge backing. And if you stick around, we're definitely going to go over the Hedera governing council that many people are betting against. So just wanted to share that, of course, Bitcoin did in fact reach this 8 extension and then really just held this line as kind of support before breaking out, coming back up to it, and then going on the next bullish cycle. That 8 extension shows about a $10,000 to $11,000 price for Ethereum if it did in fact reach that level. Now to zoom in on these extensions just a bit, and we're going to go into the HBAR price chart next, we can see some similarities for Ethereum. It reached the 2618, crashed on the 1618 and 127. Bitcoin reaches the 2618, did a backtest on the 1618. So still, that backtest at the same level was valid, although we did go a bit lower to the 127. And then after this bounce, a rocky road up to creating another all-time high price. And from this level, after this drop, it seems like it's been a rocky road to create another all-time high price. So we're going to see how Ethereum is holding this level. Another great person to follow on YouTube is Benjamin Cohen. He has a PhD. He's shown some very cool regression models for Ethereum and Bitcoin. You don't have to agree with anybody, but I definitely encourage you to look at this data and at the very least entertain the possibility. Whether you're bullish or bearish, it's great to observe both sides. I just want to show you what the overall models and what the history has been showing us thus far. There were people that were bearish on Ethereum down here. There were people that were bearish on Ethereum here. There were people that were bearish on Ethereum at these levels. It didn't stop it. Now, of course, I do believe a bear market returns in due time. We're just not quite there yet for the alts that I see that are following what Ethereum did in 2017. Okay, so let's move on to the next chart. Now, this is one of the looks. We have the Ethereum price chart on the left and we have HBAR on the right. I know this has been widely circulated. A lot of people are aware of this, but want to show anybody that is new to the channel. We're going to turn the lights on. We're going to draw some fibs here and look at these extensions. Draw some fibs here, look at these extensions. And then we're going to narrow down on this little cup right here, this cup and handle on the daily price chart. Same thing with HBAR on the 5-day. Now, with fractal analysis, everything does not have to be like for like. We're going to use some other actual levels to gauge confluence. You have to have a lot more of a creative mind rather than just a logical, analytical mind. You cannot be thinking binary in the cryptocurrency market. It is not 1 or 0. It is a quantum mind. It requires 1 and 0 or both or neither type of thinking. You need a quantum mind, not a binary mind in this market. So we're going to turn the lights on here and looking at this fib retracement, swing high, swing low, exploded from the 236 and finally went en route to price discovery, reaching these top 4 extensions. HBAR, same thing, swing high, swing low, came below the 236, exploded, reaching the top 4 extensions, then forming another cup. We form another cup here, so let's zoom in to this level right here. And just observe this. I know this is when Ethereum was a bit more illiquid. It was still early days, but I want to show you some other interesting confluences. So we're zooming into HBAR now, and what do we see? Swing high, swing low, steady climb up, and then boom, what did we have? We had a wick on the 236 at $45. Swing high, swing low, what do we have here? Climb, climb, climb. Boom, wick back on the 236. So I'm just really best gauging and looking at these levels. Historically, if you want to have the most conservative price target for HBAR, my most conservative price prediction for HBAR's price is, I'd say, $1.50 at the 4.236 Fibonacci extension. Now, if it follows suit and does what Ether did in the past and goes all the way to the 21, that's showing about $7. I would love nothing more than that, but really, I would just be looking at this whole zone from $1.50 all the way up to these levels. I know that Credible Crypto on Twitter, highly recommend you follow him. He does some great work for HBAR. I believe his targets are $2 to $5 as well. So I think it's in line with a lot of analysts looking at the Fibonacci. So very smart guy. And this is what I'd be looking at for HBAR. And I believe that ALGO is in a very similar position. Now, could I be reading it wrong? Are we at a different part of the cycle? Maybe. But I wanted to show you that I still believe we have upside. Now, we're going to finish up with HBAR here. Then we're going to dive into ALGO or Algorand and its price chart, which is absolutely fascinating. Now, we have these wicks at launch when assets launch on exchanges for the first time. I believe it was on Bittrex. I was buying well over 10 cents, and I'm embarrassed to say that now. But I was able to buy some more at the low value. And the worst thing was during the March 2020 crash, not having as much cash or being as liquid as I wanted to be. Terrible feeling. And that is one of the reasons why I do preach never being all in on the cryptocurrency market. The best investors that I know, and I'm literally using them to improve myself, is they always have some liquidity too. Buy the dips, and when assets do fall below my retracements or below the 236 from the swing high, I typically dollar cost average, provided I believe that the channel is still intact and we're still in a bull run. So swing high, swing low, what does this show you? 4.236, $1.50. Next, I would still be using these Fibonacci numbers, the 8, 21, and 34. So almost $3, $7, $12. Engage those as points of confluence. Now, if we zoom in on this cup and we look on the right-hand side for HBAR, we can actually see there's interesting confluences where they're pretty close to some of these same extensions. Notice, 4.236 on this is $1.49. Right here, $1.51. So that zone, $1.50, I think that is the most conservative price target for HBAR. Now let's talk about those higher targets. We can see HBAR showing this Fibonacci extension using the all-time high price of this wick shows about $2.80. The 8 right here shows about $2.73. So another zone that's pretty close. 21 shows $6.95 to $7.36. So $6 to $7 if we get that higher big impulse level that we saw for Ethereum in the past. Now, other things to consider, of course, are market cap. HBAR's market cap, diluted market cap, is different. Reason being is this is for the big boys, and this is a completely different beast than Ethereum. We have people like Google backing them entirely, and we'll dive into that in this video. But very interesting to show this zone, and then of course the 34 extension is like almost $12. Let's see, $11.90 and then $11.17. Either way, very, very interesting. And I also believe that the central bank digital currency plays these networks have the potential to have several $trillion market capitalizations in the years ahead. Just wanted to show you that the confluences of the 4.236 from this high to even this most recent cup, which is just right here, are the same targets. And of course, we can even add just an ascending channel right here just to see this overall trend. Is it intact? 1 cup, 2 cup, we have a 3rd cup, and we're going to see how we hold these levels and these overall trends. Excited to revisit this video in particular in 2022. Remember, my strategy at a basic level is for assets that I believe in have strong roadmaps, and I'm already very familiar with the fundamentals. I do not just look at the technicals on this channel. Falls below the 236, I am dollar cost averaging, keeping my entry as low as possible. And as it makes it to its higher levels, potentially even some of these extensions, notice it did in fact hit the 1618 perfectly, start staggering sells out all the way up. Get my initial investment out as soon as possible, and then have a cash position to potentially buy back during the next bear market. Now, the biggest point in this is HBAR's price chart. From the high to the low, where did it reach its highest price? The 1618. Don't believe me? Look how close that is. 1618, about 57 cents, right there. The 1618 Fibonacci extension. What did ALGO do? The same exact thing. Look at this. I'm going to get my arrow out, and I just want you to look. From the all-time high price for Algorand. And yes, we are buying it all down here. What happened? 1618. Is that a coincidence? No, this is something that ALGO and HBAR have been sharing for a few months now, showing that they are correlated. Now, zooming in on ALGO's cup and handle right here, which is a very bullish pattern in crypto, its wick reached the 1618. Well, let's zoom in on that, and let's check on Wobi, one of the exchanges. It had an illiquidity wick, or just a weird little moment, where we actually just reached the 4.236 and created a new all-time high price, compared to the previous all-time high around $3.30. Interesting. Time and time again, we've seen wicks do this and forecast the future price target, so I do believe that this wick will be fulfilled in the future. And yes, I want it to happen tomorrow, but just want to show you other confluences we are seeing that foreshadow future prices. And the reason being is that crypto is notorious for reaching some of these full extensions before it enters a bear market. So, reminder, Bitcoin, Ethereum, compared to their all-time high price, they've all reached this zone of the 3618, this purple box. So what am I saying? I'm saying, is it that crazy to assume that ALGO, HBAR, XLM, and a variety of other layer 1 solutions in the crypto market, even the top 100, could potentially reach the 3618 in these higher prices before the bear market fully returns? And if it doesn't reach all the way up to my 3618 4.236, guess what? Well, I have my take profit strategy that I shared even on my YouTube story. 1618, 2618, this portion right up here, and then I hold 25% for life. And keep in mind, that's when you're getting average prices as low as possible and you're up sitting pretty regardless. And remember, why am I so damn bullish on Casper? Because it's following what HBAR did and what Ethereum fractals did in the past. This is like getting HBAR all over again when it was around 3 pennies. That's why I'm excited about it. Very similar setups. And I know I showed some other assets that look very similar to Casper as well, just wanted to share. So again, will Ethereum 4 to 5x from these prices? I'm not looking at assets that have already done a 4,000x, I'm looking at assets that are a bit lower. And remember, it is hard to bet against HBAR long term. If you've done your research and actually look at the fundamentals, have you heard of Jordan Freed, who owns the domain NFT.com? Cough, cough, which will probably be built on Hedera. We can see he's part of the founding team of Hedera as well, and the founder of Immutable Holdings. Highly recommend checking out this website. And let's take a look at the governing council that owns the Hedera network today as it becomes more decentralized. We looked at this website a day or two ago, going through all of these behemoths. Are you betting against Google, IBM, Boeing, Deutsche Telekom, LG, Shinhan Bank, which already did a trial with HBAR for their central bank digital currency in Korea, FIS, aka Fidelity, ServiceNow, DBS Bank, one of the highest assets under management banks in Southeast Asia, also a Ripple partner, and has spoken at Ripple's annual event Swell. Just a lot of groups, and even Tata, one of the biggest organizations based out of India. They're owned and governed by the world's leading organizations. And now something else to touch on. Now, I did just watch the interview that Bearable Bull hosted for Access. And Access is a metaverse for the people that is built on Hedera. And boy, if you think that governing council is interesting, you better get ready for some of the partnerships they're going to be announcing for this metaverse that is going to be built on Hedera, where the physical and the virtual world collide. And remember, Zackt Wallet is, of course, one of the wallets I use for HBAR for NFTs. So remember, Hedera Governing Council, massive. Well, guess what? All the gaming companies are going to be looking at Access, and it's actually spelled with a V right here. access_official. But alright guys, that is enough out of me today. I hope you found this video helpful and informational. Be sure to like and subscribe to help out the channel. All links and crypto services that I actively use can be found in the video description. And until next time.